Can a Division III player really make it to the pros? A year and a half ago, I finished my senior season at Pacific University, a small Division III in Oregon, and now I'm playing professional basketball overseas in Taiwan. In this video, I'm going to take you through my journey and how I went from being a Division III athlete to signing my first pro contract. What's up, everyone? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ethan Chung. I'm currently a pro basketball player in Taiwan for the Tainan Ghost Hawks. This is my very first YouTube upload, and I've been wanting to start one for quite some time, and I decided might as well start now. But if you told me that I'd be playing professional basketball 2 years ago overseas, then I probably wouldn't have believed you. But here I am now, and I'm super excited to be able to share this journey with you and my story. So for any hoopers out there that are wanting to make the leap to professional basketball, I would say just use me as a testament that it really is possible, no matter what your circumstances are. Just a year and a half ago, I was finishing up my senior season at Pacific University, which was a small D3 in Oregon. By no means was I a super exceptional player. I averaged 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in my career at Pacific. Even in high school, I wasn't a super exceptional player. I started at freshman, then JV, then played 2 years of varsity, so pretty normal route for a high school player. As an Asian hooper, I didn't necessarily pass the eye test for any scouts, so I wasn't heavily recruited at all. So playing at Pacific was pretty much my only option at the collegiate level. Growing up playing basketball and all throughout middle school, high school, and college, I never thought about playing professional basketball. It was something that I totally thought was out of reach, and even if I did want to play professional basketball, I didn't even think I was good enough to play. After my senior season at Pacific University ended, I was just interviewing for a bunch of sales jobs and ready to end my basketball career and start working a 9-to-5 back at home in California. A few weeks after my season ended, I had a FIBA agent from Taiwan message me on Instagram. He was asking me if I was of Chinese descent, and if I was, then there would be some potential opportunities in Asia to play professionally. Didn't think much of it, but I sent the screenshot to my parents, and I was like, check this out, I could be a professional basketball player, just joking around. And my dad, who really pushed me to take advantage of every opportunity, he was super excited at the time, not knowing what it could eventually lead to. But a few months passed by, and I was still interviewing for different jobs, and the same week where I was going to find out if I was going to have a job was the same week that I had to decide if I was going to go overseas to try to pursue professional basketball. I told myself, if I get this job, then I'll stay home, I'll end my basketball career, but if I don't get the job, then I'll try playing professional basketball. And obviously I didn't get the job, so professional basketball was the route that I guess God chose for me. My agent's plan for me was for me to fly out to Taiwan and work out with different teams and hopefully do well enough where they'd be able to sign me. I worked out with 5 different teams, and most of those workouts didn't go very well and made me rethink my decision to come and play professional basketball, and was thinking maybe I would have been better off working a 9-to-5 back at home and playing it safe. The third team that I worked out, called the Leopards, which is actually the team that Dwight Howard played for a few years back. A month went by, and they finally said that they wanted to sign me. I was super excited to get that news that they had finally wanted to sign me after a lot of hard work in the last 3 months. After they said they wanted to sign me, I found out that there were some issues with my status as a free agent, and found out that I couldn't sign with them. My agent was thinking of different ways that could change this. He found this FIBA tournament that was happening in the Philippines, and he found a team from the US that was going to go out there and play. I didn't expect much from this tournament in the Philippines that I was going to go to. Just thought I was going to sit on the bench and just see the Philippines for the first time and then come back. But it was actually an incredible experience, and it was my first glimpse into professional basketball, which is something that I had never experienced before. It was one of the biggest blessings in disguise for my career so far. I came back after 2 weeks and finally ready to sign with this team. The league had told me that this tournament that I played in wasn't enough to consider me a free agent. So 5 months overseas and I was ready to call it quits for my basketball career and go home. Another agent that I had met in the Philippines during that tournament reached out to me and said, if you continue playing, then I have a solid plan for you next year coming back. And even then I still wasn't sure if I wanted to come back, but I had a long conversation with my parents, and the biggest thing my dad told me was to not have any regrets. Was this something that I really wanted to try and pursue, or ultimately I did decide to try one more time. And so I went home for a few months and getting ready to go back to Taiwan. And my teammate from the Philippines, Taylor Statham, an agent had messaged him about something called the Asian tournament. He was asking him if he knew any Asian guards that were open to playing in this tournament. And I thought this could be a really good chance for me to gain some exposure. It could be really cool to travel to different countries. I joined the Taiwan Mustangs, and in 5 months we played in 3 different legs, one in China, one in the Philippines, and one in Taiwan. Got the exposure I needed, ended up playing super well, and got to play with Dwight Howard, DeMarcus Cousins, and Quinn Cook. And my biggest performance in the Asian tournament was when I had 40 points, 11 threes in one game, and that caught some attention from some teams in Taiwan. One of those teams including the Ghost Hawks. They had messaged my agent and they said that they wanted to have me for a few workouts. A few weeks went by and I went to Taiwan to work out with them for 2 days. It kind of felt like a full circle moment. I was back in Taiwan working out with the team like I was a year ago. I just told myself to compete my ass off, but ended up having a really good 2 workouts with the team. And a few days went by. My agent told me that the team wanted to officially offer me, so that was one of the greatest feelings that I've ever had. Yeah, but that leads me to where I am now, and I'm officially signed with the Tainan Ghost Hawks. So over the past year and a half, my journey from Division III to professional basketball was nothing short of easy. As a Christian, I think about this one verse in the Bible, John 13:7, and it says, "You do not know what I'm doing now, but later you'll understand." And it took me a long time, and even now I'm still struggling with it, but it took me a while to understand why certain things were happening in my life. And I realize now that every setback was leading me to this opportunity, and every challenge that I faced was slowly building my character and my faith. But for those of you that want to reach the professional level and play professional basketball, just use me as an example of someone that came from a small Division III that no one's ever heard of. But it's not about where you start, it's about where you want to end up and the sacrifices that you're willing to make to get there. So that's the biggest lesson that I've learned in this last year and a half, getting to the professional level. So for this YouTube channel, basically just going to be following my professional basketball journey, however long it goes. I'll be sharing stuff like daily vlogs, behind the scenes stuff, and just life as a professional basketball player in Taiwan. So if you want to follow along, be sure to subscribe, and there'll be a lot of content coming out soon. I appreciate you guys for watching, and be sure to tune in for more videos.